And this is the 71 Mustang with the original grabber blue paint, not repainted. It's also got the pinstripe on the side. That was original with the Boss 351 and Mach 1s, but it was also offered for a limited time in 1971. This is a 1971 Ford Mustang Coupe. I like the low grumble that it makes, even if it's not super quick around the corners or, you know, in a straight line, but I like the retro and vintage nature of it, and that's why I drive it. I've had it for 3 years now. I bought it off Craigslist after my grandfather and I found it, and I decided I wanted an old muscle car to drive around every day, as stupid as that sounds. This is a 351 Cleveland 2-barrel, so it's the step below the 4-barrel that they put in the Boss 351 and the Mustang Mach 1. But this is the closest you can get with a base model. And this is the 351 Cleveland that came on some of the base model Mustangs. It came with about 220 horsepower from the factory stock. And the only thing that I've done to it so far is put the Edelbrock carburetor on in exchange for the stock Holly. This is a car from the 70s, so you do kind of feel like you're driving a boat. It's got that long nose, but you can still throw it around the corners if you want. It's got enough power to spin the tires, but not too much. This is a big wheel, so you get a lot of play. You got to really point where you want to go with it. But when you put your foot in it, it does make a nice sound, which is why I drive it. This is the original color. It has not been repainted, even with the pinstripe on it, and it's rusted in a few places, but I don't have the money or the time to repaint it yet. I did one autocross in the event in this car not too long ago. It did hit the drag strip in the 1980s, but it hasn't since then. The highs are you get to hear it every day, and it's a beautiful engine and a great car to drive, but it does have its quirks. There are plenty of things wrong with the car, and I've had to dump quite a bit of money in it to keep it like this, but it's the best daily driver I could ask for. The lows being it has left me stranded a couple of times. It's tried to explode once or twice, but luckily that hasn't happened yet, and the engine is still intact at the moment, and so it gets 10 miles to the gallon, which is not a plus, but it's something you live with when you're driving a car from the 70s. Just like any other kid, I wanted to own an old Mustang for my first car, and I was just one of the few people to follow through with it. And the 60s are prevalent and everywhere, and I wanted something that's kind of unique, but still a Mustang. So I found this 71, and I fell in love with it. Did replace those. This was originally blue all the way around, but it was changed when the pinstripe was added. This was made to look like chrome, more like the 351s. You get the Mustang insignia right here on both sides, and that's about it.